Grew up round folk on the hustler stones. Vice lords, grew up round Latin King maniacs.
Hey, yo, it's the General Prolific. You now in tune to another episode of EO Radio. This episode is near and dear to my heart because this individual's come up has been spectacular. You know what? I'm just gonna jump right into it. Next Spinati, I see you, love you, brother. Pusha Preem sat on this very couch a couple of weeks ago, and he said that Tampa is the home of second chances. Now, from meeting you, I know you've done the college circuit. You were making music in, I believe, upstate New York, correct?
Yep.
So you're already well-rounded as far as, the whole 10,000-hour rule. Like, you put in your work. You are a legit musician and artist. Because you just don't rap and sing. You're able to play instruments. You know how to produce, so forth and so on. So having a little success as far as being a traveling artist and being able to make probably a little bread off your music and, putting your out there and it being received. You didn't blow up, whatever that means these days, right? Because I think that's at this point it's individual with the world we live in. I mean, you can have a niche market and have a fan base there and no one know who you are outside of that niche market, which I think is amazing. Mm-hmm. But you came to Tampa. We'll get into how you got there, but you're here now. And it hasn't been a long time.
No.
So, and a lot of people that sit on this couch, they haven't been in Tampa for a very long time. But you found your tribe, which is safe to say, right?
Yep.
You're working on dope music. How do you feel about this resurgence or this rebirth or this second chance that now you're walking in? Not so much from the artistic side yet, but from like you as an artist. How does that feel as an individual being able to say, man, you know what? Music's something I pursued. As artists, we think, yo, this shit might be over. I don't think I'm pursuing this, get a regular job and say, fuck it. But you came to Tampa. Before we get into the artistic side of it, how does it feel for you being able to say, no, I got an album coming out. I got people who fuck with me. I feel good about myself and where I'm going. How does that feel having a second chance, man, in a city that you never even been in before you moved here type shit?
It still feels super surreal, honestly. Like,
the one and only Lee Kenobi, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies. Lee Kenobi's in the house, baby. But
yeah, no. It felt like super surreal. I'm still like, I think I'll have a better answer like once this is over.
Yeah.
Like I think May 5th, like, is gonna be where I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But right now, like, just kind of going through it, honestly, it feels like I never left, but I'm like anxious to do it because it's been so long at the same time. So it's like a mix of like all these things.
Sure.
I'm trying to like understand as it's happening.
So, as you approach this project, how was the approach different? How have you developed as an artist? How are you seeing the music now? How are you seeing the melodies, the sounds? You're older. You're putting out something that means something to you. Mm-hmm. I think it's safe to say from just knowing you as an individual, hearing your music when I do get a chance to hear it live. What does it mean to you to be able to say, you know what, I got a project coming out and I want you to listen to it. When you listen to it, I want you to be able to say, you got this from it.
Right. Just like having this project, this is like the first thing that I've actually first project I've put out where I'm 100% proud of it. Like from everything about it, everything down from like just like the track listing, like every instrument, every even the album cover for it. Like I'm just so like everything about it is what I wanted. And honestly, I'm glad that this kind of resurgence, I guess, happened later.
Yeah.
Because I was a little bit more older.
Right.
I was able to take what happened and learn from it. So with that, like I'm safely can say like I'm 100% proud of this. And that's the main thing that I can take away is just look back and never be like, man, I wish I did this. Like I really
I should have left that song out.
Right. Like so like some of these are older songs. Some of these songs are brand new. Some of these songs no one's ever heard. So just to like actually have everything that I've wanted for it just from all these different places that I was able to grab from.
Yeah.
It just felt refreshing, and it just kind of regained my love for music.
Come on.
So,
That's dope. That's super
yeah.
illmatic. Talk to us about the album cover. The album cover, you know, I have a thing like I like have lists of my favorite album covers. Like Lupe's, you know, Food and Liquor to me was an incredible album cover where he's like elevated in the air, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Built for Cuban Links, Raekwon and Ghostface on the cover, obviously classic cover. I could go on, right? I'm not getting into the whole thing. David Banner has an ill ass cover. But talk to us through that process, man, because it's very well executed, very minimalist, which I love, but still got some flavor to it. Why did you want that to be your album cover?
So, some of my favorite album covers are the more simplistic ones. I love Childish Gambino album covers.
Okay, yeah.
If you look at all of his album covers, they're all done so well and they're so simple, you know. So I've always looked into kind of perfecting that, and
I think it's dope. It matters
yeah,
from an artistic standpoint. I think it's really dope that you care about it.
yeah. No, I mean, album covers. It's to me when I hear an album, it's the first image that pops in my head. You know,
that's a great way to put it. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So like I wanted something that people could easily recognize, while still not trying to do the most.
Right.
You know.
Who shot that? That was you?
That was Your Highness.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
Yeah. Shout out Your Highness. Shout out Stop It Media.
Salute to y'all. Great job.
Yeah, no, they killed with the whole photo shoot.
Everything you wanted.
Everything you wanted.
From your description you just gave now, it seems like exactly that.
Yeah.
You gave everything you wanted. Now that comes from you know, where my mind goes with artists, does that come from like you gave a song to every type of vibe? Is that you saying this is everything I wanted from a project? Is that saying someone's gonna walk and say I got everything I wanted, or I thought I was gonna get from Lee Kenobi? Where does the birth of everything you wanted come from?
The birth of Everything You Wanted originally came from the song, because we got a song on there called Everything You Wanted, and originally the song was not gonna be on the album.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Ironically, huh?
Yeah, crazy enough. But I performed it at Versus, and I sent Psych, Psych Montano, shout out Psych.
Salute Psych.
I sent him the album that I was gonna put out, and he called me and was like, "Where was that one song that you did? You know, this." I was like, "Everything You Wanted." He was like, "Well, yeah, it's not on there," and he was like, "Yeah, no, you can't do that. That song, if any song, has to be on the album."
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay." So I had to execute it, which shout out Rico Finesse.
Mhm.
He
Salute
engineered
Rico.
that track. But the idea for making it the title, not only because, you know, it was the catchy, you know, song that we thought was going to be the big one, but because it's me saying, you know, this is everything that you wanted.
Right.
It's me saying that to y'all.
That's,
you know what I
that's
mean?
a beautiful thing to be able to say.
Just to put it out and say, here's everything you wanted.
Yeah. And let's make sure the audience understands. You rap.
Yep.
You sing.
Yep.
How many instruments you play?
I played a little bit of trumpet. Played guitar a little bit when I was a kid.
Make beats?
Yeah, make beats.
Well, what's your preference on the beat? Logic, Pro Tools, Fruity Loops. What you doing it on? You got an interface?
This bad boy right here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I produce everything on my phone. Shout out GarageBand.
Yo, when you got the talent, the passion, the dedication, you can use anything, bro. You know, I was watching this documentary one time. It's called It Might Get Loud, and it follows legendary guitar players.
I think I just heard about that because I think someone from that documentary just passed away, like a legendary guitar player.
So it's Edge from YouTube. It's a dude from Led Zeppelin. Page, I forget his name. Page, whatever. And then Jack White. Jack White. We're gonna bring this up.
I love Jack White.
Oh, amazing, incredible. His first tour he went on, bro. He brought an electric guitar from Target that you buy for like your kid. First of all, watch the documentary. It'll
I'm gonna
inspire the
have
shit
to.
out of you.
Yeah.
But it's a great documentary. But yeah, his first tour he went on, he brought an electric guitar for fucking bro. It was like whatever, $40 guitar, looked plastic, probably was, and that's what he went on his first tour with. He
That's
had his,
awesome.
obviously his pedals and shit, and he just fucking made it work. But that should show you that like art doesn't have no limitations.
Yeah.
I remember hearing Jeezy recently tell a story about when Kanye hit him up for a song, right? And Kanye's just like, "Yo, like I want you on a song." So he's thinking he's doing a verse, all this other shit, and then he says yes to him. That was it. And then he hears the song, and it's just his ad libs and the classic, like the girl
Yeah.
liking the guy in the trunk, and
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean. That song was classic, but just literally his ad libs are so classic. They were just on the song. But when you have an artistic mind, brother, it really is no limitations
Yeah.
on what we can accomplish, bro.
You ever heard of the movie Tangerine?
No.
It's I believe it's an Oscar-winning movie, entirely shot off an iPhone. Like,
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah. Shout out to Nexus Minotti. He does his magic just off an iPhone as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Shout out iPhone, man. You already know.
Talk a little bit about your, Psych Montana, his Psychopedia, if I said that right, is sponsoring or promoting the show. Talk about your relationship with him, how you guys connected, and what it means to you to have something like that in the scene that embraced you and believes in your music enough to say, hey, you need to put this song on an album type shit.
Yeah. So Psych and I met at a pretty early Versus. I want to say it was probably like the second or third one.
Yo, salute to y'all too doing the verses, man.
Oh,
My boy,
yeah.
what's his name? Rasta. What's his name?
Your Highness.
Your Highness, my
Yeah,
fire,
yeah.
but his YouTube, his IG
Rastafari
tag,
Realness.
Rastafari Realness, and he always
Rastafari
has the
Realness.
fuck shit,
Yeah,
pen,
no fuck
salute
shit.
to you,
Grown man, real nigga shit.
Exactly, you're doing your
Yeah.
thing. We respect you. So early on in the verses,
Yep, we met early on in the Verses. Dilman introduced us.
oh word, okay.
He was like, "Hey man, my friend Psych is here. He's a rapper. He's also a huge Star Wars nerd. I think you two would really get along." And we hit it off. Like we were cool before he had like really even heard my music.
Word, okay, bad.
So he really caught wind when I did my verses.
Okay.
And that was like he was like, because he had never seen me perform like that. So that was when he really caught on. And just since then, he's been, super helpful. He's been kind of, showing me around the scene, everything, the places to go, the people to meet and
Yes,
stuff.
sir.
So
that's love, man.
Yeah, man. It's great. Psych is a cool dude. He's from upstate New York. I'm from upstate New York. So, it just works.
It's good to see that love and camaraderie because we live in a culture, where, it's most of the time dog eat dog, or it's, people don't want to fuck with each other, blah, 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 blah. But it's dope to see that that's not always the case. That there is people out here showing love. There is people who want to see other people win, not just lip service, but actually not just lip service but actually, putting work behind it. Saying, I'm actually going to support you. I'm actually going to promote. I'm actually going to, take you around. So that's super ill.
Yeah.
Now, are you a Star Wars guy who don't like Star Trek?
Yeah.
So you hate the Trekkies and
I don't
Star
hate
Trek?
I don't hate Trekkies at all. I just personally have never gotten into it.
Really?
Yeah. I remember like catching reruns and stuff.
Oh, like Next Generation?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But like never really getting into it.
How about when the movies came out? They didn't like the movies or the new ones that came out?
I started watching the movies. I never finished it, but I like what I saw. I did. I like Chris Pine.
Okay.
I like J.J. Abrams. Yeah,
yep.
he did some of the Star Wars.
Yeah. No, I asked that for a reason, obviously, because that's like a thing.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, no matter anything that Star Wars put out or Star Trek put out, I will always watch. Right. I'm never gonna be like a full fanatic. I'm not gonna like do the full canon and read the books and all this other shit.
Yeah.
No, I keep up with it enough. But ironically, the shit that I like the most is the shit that people that are like real fans don't like. Like I like Solo. Sorry, but I thought Solo was a great film. So everybody who hates me for that,
I have a crazy hot take.
That's okay.
I like I actually like The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that, sir.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because no, do you know what bothers me about this, bro?
What?
Like sincerely.
What's up?
Especially being a person who has been creative and sometimes makes a living off being creative and create shit, is that when it comes to like George Lucas, now you know this the culture, bro.
Right.
There's people they live, breathe, live for, and they will die for Star Trek everything.
Right.
Okay. Houses decorated Star Trek, going conventions, name their kids after this shit. They're fanatics, bro. It's insane. There's fanatics out there. I'm not talking shit about that because I think that's dope, and I have shit that I'm like that over too. But when a guy created everything that you base your life around, and that same guy wants to do something like put a ghost at the end of a movie of a younger and older, let the guy do what he wants. He gave you the world that you fucking love. Like, bro, who are you to tell the guy?
Yeah.
They gave you what you base your life around. How it's to me it's blasphemous to like get mad at a dude. Yo, I thought Rogue One was probably the best fucking Star Wars movie I've ever seen in my life.
Rogue One is fire. Fans love that one too. For the most part.
It's that one's a 50-50, bro.
Really?
In that world, that's it don't get as much love as the linear canon ones do. The fucking
I don't think it got like
because I heard people cuss me out over this shit, bro.
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro.
See,
I'm like older than you, so I'm around like older guys too that really like, they'll die over this shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it probably got less exposure, and people were just like, "It's."
I liked it better than the one with Ray.
It's not the main line.
I'm gonna be honest with you,
huh?
I liked it better than the one with Ray.
Yeah.
Me personally.
Yeah, but
I don't think that was a bad one either. I'm just saying I like Rogue One better.
Yeah, I've heard fans say like I don't like the main storyline that they went through with the end, but I love Rogue One.
Right,
I hear that a lot more than I don't like Rogue One.
Bro, the cutscenes on Rogue One, what they left out, especially a scene at the end, with a fighter. I'm not spoiling for anybody to see because I hate when people do that shit. But there's some cutscenes in that movie that are ill as fuck. But honestly, my favorite one are this whole era that came from like Disney and all this shit. Where I love the Solo movie. I think the end is some Gone with the Wind shit, like with the visually when my dog. I love Darth Maul. You know what I mean? That's just one of my personal characters. He comes out there. Just that movie was just so ill. And again, my whole thing when it comes to like hip hop, basketball, all this other shit. Just because I don't like something, me personally, I don't have a strong enough bias to take away from if it's good or not. You know what I mean? Like, let's say I'm not gonna say Kevin Durant's the greatest basketball player ever.
Right.
But I respect what Kevin Durant has done in the game of basketball.
Yeah.
Now, if someone were to come to say Kevin Durant's the greatest basketball ever, you can't like. It's just to me, from a basketball standpoint, you can't prove that, bro. Is he nice as fuck? Is he one of the greats ever? For sure.
Yeah.
But to say he's the greatest, I love Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi's one of my favorite artists of all time. I think he's one of the most brilliant minds to ever touch a microphone.
Right.
Am I gonna say Kid Cudi's the best rapper to ever live? No, he's not.
Right.
Cudi, you the man, but you ain't the best ever. You know what I mean? And you don't need to be. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He doesn't need to be.
Right.
Like he's impacted. He's left his fingerprint on pop culture and on hip hop.
Yeah.
To where his legacy will live on forever. But I'm not gonna sit there and argue with a fool that says Kid Cudi's the best rapper ever. You know?
I don't think he wants to be that.
No. He doesn't go out hard enough. He's almost at this point kind of like Frank Ocean-ish.
Yeah, he wants to do his own thing and be his own way.
And I think, bro, honestly, like if someone were to ask me what's the perfect picture of like this music shit would look like for me, like if I could be Hove or Kendrick or whatever, me personally, hell the fuck no, I would want to be like a Frank Ocean or like a Kid Cudi.
Absolutely.
Like whenever I put music out, it shuts shit down. It's the talk of everywhere. It's insanely good music, and then I go away like a little hurt, like you know what I mean, just go in my cave and whatever the fuck I want. You know what I mean? Do I want to be number one? Fuck no. Even when I was younger and I was pursuing music, I never wanted to be number one. I wanted to have like a niche crowd where I made like a couple M's a year. You know what I mean? Make 1 year where I do very well, like make 5 or 6, stash that shit away. And just like make music for who I want to make it for, but still keep some, anonymity. Like still be able to go to Publix whenever the fuck I want to, and not be, sworn by fans. You know what I mean? If the perfect career you could honestly paint it out, what would that look like for you?
I mean, I think you just said it. Really, I'd probably just buy land, get a house, and just record music when I want, put it out when I want, tour, maybe pop out, do a show here and there, and just dip out the rest of the time.
For sure.
Honestly.
For sure. I think honestly, bro, I just think that's from a human side, because people don't realize, bro, when you reach a certain level of fame, bro, that's not a way humans supposed to live, bro. That's why all these people be having breakdowns and going ape shit crazy, and people thinking they something they not, taking everything they say wrong. Music is gonna come out
organically. It's gonna sound better. Like, I think. Like,
yeah, I agree for sure.
Like, Blonde is so fire because he took like 6 years to make it.
Bro, even when I look at the way Tyler Creator's career has unfolded throughout the years, not rushing to make music. When he came out with Igor, I was like, yo, salute. And then when he came out with because that one, the Gram, then he came out, his next one did the same shit. And then he came out with the DJ Drama shit.
He's on a 3 Street. Yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
He's on 3 Street.
And then they're so different. Igor to the DJ Drama shit is insanely different. You know what I'm saying?
I put Tyler the Creator as like one of the Mount Rushmores, honestly.
And the one reason people have heard me say this who watch the pod before, one of the things that I honestly respect about him too is that motherfucker could perform. You know what I mean? Like, he gets he's a stage together. He gets props. It's conceptual. He's jumping everywhere. He's going scene to scene. Like, when you watch him live, it brings a different meaning to his music and to him as an artist that you respect more. Kind of like how we were talking about with the album covers. Yeah. Like, they live on just as much as the music. Like, when you think of Baby covers, you think of Nas and you think of Biggie.
Yeah.
Little afro, white background. Look, you babe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Wayne cover.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? Nas, I believe, was the first to do it, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
If my history proves me correct. If I'm wrong, put me in the comments. Or anyone that mattered anyway. You know what I'm saying? What's your favorite joint off the album, man?
Oh, man. It's hard to say.
All right, give me 2. I think that's probably more fair.
I'm going to say Everything You Wanted, the title track. After that, I might go... I'm going to go the intro. The intro track is called Good Morning.
Good Morning.
Good Morning.
The intro tracks. I love intro tracks, bro. When the intro track's right, it sets the mood.
Yeah.
Sets the mood.
So the intro track is definitely up there for me. It's an instrumental.
Okay. That's ill. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's basically like a symphony that I produce.
Wow.
So
yo, that's what's up.
Yeah.
The fact to have the courage to even do that, I think is ill. This is Frank Ocean, Tyler Creator shit right here. You feel me? Very unexpected. If you didn't tell me that, I'd have been very unexpected.
Yeah. And it was all done from my phone, so
even more hard.
Yeah.
Pause. But that's what's up. That's ill. It was fuck. Let's transition here now. Dilman, you ready, Papo?
Yeah, man.
How we gonna mic him, bro? He's like how Paul in the New Testament, bro. Majority of New Testament, he's what Paul, in the Quran. All right, bro. So Lee, so this intro track, it's a symphony. Why was it important for you to have this as your entrance track? Why was it important to have no rapping, no lyrics? Like, why did it mean something to you to do this first song out the gate album? Talk to me.
So, yeah, this was the first beat that I actually like completed, and I did it on my phone. And I had it for probably like 5-6 years now.
Wow.
And I actually wrote a whole song for it.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I wrote it,
word.
Everything. And I was just like, it's doing too much at that point. I thought.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was just a cool way to just start it.
Very brave.
All my stoners, they can roll up during that time and just, take their hit.
Prepare for the journey ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we talked about how you in the beginning you appreciated this album coming out a little later, you're more mature, how you look at music. Isn't it interesting that your first beat ever has withstood this test of time? Still in your how you feel it's still dope as fuck to hang with your new shit. And it'll live on with your catalog now for forever. Literally the first beat you ever composed.
It just comes full circle.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? It's it's
That's
just
real.
an insane feeling. It's part of the surrealness that I'm kind of dealing with at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just kind of having to deal with all that.
Yeah.
Again, I might have a better answer for
Right.
you.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure. No,
but
that's an incredible story though.
yeah, man, it just feels so good, and yeah, it's
Now,
my favorite beat.
I have to introduce one of my genuine few friends I've been able to develop and come across in this game. I actually did my first podcast I ever did. He was my first guest. He's nice on the ones and twos. He's
Mhm.
nice on the mic. He's nice with the freestyling. He's nice with the. You feel me? I appreciate you, brother, for forever. Thank you for being a real one, bro. Thick and thin, you always kept the solid with me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you always supporting. I appreciate the journey of love, even if it's just a dap when I see you. The one and only Dilman has joined EO Radio.
Let's go once again.
Dilman, man, let's move on to a different topic right now, man, because me and you, we always get into these conversations, bro. Seeing shit unfold. Iran just bombed Israel, a couple days ago, type shit. Man, bro, isn't it crazy? We all get successful when fucking World War III hits, man. All our hard work pays off. And we gotta deal with some fucking World War, man. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, all the shit we went through to get here,
I know, man.
we might get bombed.
Yeah,
That one's
So
different,
Oppenheimer
too.
fucked me up, man.
Yeah, man. They got so check this out. They got a hydrogen bomb now.
Yeah, they
That's
do,
like
yes.
100 times more powerful than that joint.
Yes.
So it's kind of messed up. But have you been hearing this stuff about these red heifer cows?
Yes, bro. Yes.
Yo.
See, that's why I fuck with you.
Yes, bro.
Yes.
And the building of the third temple.
That's the crazy one. I think we spoke of this
That
briefly.
one
I
is
never
crazy.
released that conversation we had. But can you break down, because, I'd rather you do it. Break down this third temple shit, what that means to the world, what that means prophetically, what that means symbolically, what that means in general, and why it's even worth mentioning in a conversation like this.
All right. So first thing I'm going to say is that I'm agnostic before we start this conversation. So these don't represent my beliefs. This just represents
This
the
information.
biblical mythology, or if you can, religious
That's
theology.
That's what I say. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, a large discrepancy between Muslims, Christians, and Jews is of the Messiah. And as you know,
Huge, not large.
yes, it's a huge dividing issue.
Yeah.
So basically, the Christians believe the Messiah has already come through Jesus Christ. The Jews believe that he is yet to come. And there are some denominations of Christianity that also believe that he is yet to come, like evangelicals.
Evangelicals.
Evangelicals, yeah.
Evangelicals, charismatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, most postmodern Western adaptation Christianity believes that for sure.
Yeah.
They'll use the term post or pre-tribulation. That's their eschatology, which is the study of end times.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they believe they have this prophecy. They believe that God will come back and take his people up to heaven, and the rest will basically go to hell. That's a very layman's terms way of putting it,
Yeah.
but that's basically what they believe. So the end of the world, or the end times, means that God comes back to take his people, and we all go live in heaven ever after. And if you didn't make it because your jump shot was weak, then you end up going to hell. Now, that's not my eschatology. I'm just saying that's most people believe pre-tribulation there'll be 7 years of basically
peace.
Of the beast, or what that translates to is just hell on earth, basically.
Yeah.
There'll be no really governing. There'll be people, basically like marauders and the dystopian, when you see in dystopian movies. And then there's people who believe that, post-trib is that, he'll, and then there's pre-trib, that they believe that he'll come before. So basically, 7 years, either he comes before the 7 years of the seventh thing, or he comes after the 7 years of hell on earth, basically.
Yeah. So exactly what we've been talking about, and we also talked about this before, how the idea of people getting raptured was made popular by a movie.
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So also some of it is
fake eschatology up the ass, bro.
Yeah, and people take
End of
artistic
times,
liberty.
End of days. What was End of Days? The movie.
Something like that. But anyway, going back to these red heifer cows. So basically, When they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, they found a copper tin, and
Mhm.
inside the copper tin contained the ashes of 8 previous red heifer cows. The thing about the red heifer cow is it has to meet a certain criteria in order to be sacrificed, and then after it's sacrificed, it's burned. The ashes are used in this ceremony I'm about to talk about in a minute. But
Bro,
essentially,
do you know? You know, I saw that when I was 12. I saw the Dead Sea Scrolls.
you saw them
Bro, crazy, right?
in real life?
Bro, they had more security than if you went to go see the president,
Oh,
bro.
I believe it.
Yeah, it was in Chicago, the Museum of Art and Industry, and I got 12. And by then I was already into my
Theology.
Christianity and shit.
Oh, yeah.
So like, bro, seeing that was wild. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, man, and the Dead Sea Scrolls contain books that are been taken out of our modern day Bible, like the Book of Enoch,
Yep.
which talks about certain topics,
A
the
lot.
Nephilim, how they survive after the flood, how they
Aliens,
continue, yeah,
cars,
a lot of
chariots
stuff.
with fire that are fast. Yep.
Yep, and a lot of people have the idea that maybe what we consider in one generation to be extraterrestrial is from another generation to be divine. That goes in its own separate topic.
Yeah.
But going back to the red heifer cows, the red heifer cow has to be under a certain age. It could have never even been leaned upon, or a yoke could have never been placed on it. A yoke is that thing that you use to fasten a plow onto a cow. Every hair on its body has to be red. It can have no defects. And these cows are so rare that essentially they're like 1 in a million. So a man in Texas, and this is where it gets a bit unusual, coincidentally the solar eclipse, not the most recent one, but the one before that, went over Texas. And what's weird is that basically in that area of Texas, they found a local cattle farmer who claimed that he had 5 red heifer cows. Now again, these are like 1 in a million.
Yeah.
So for him to have 5,
Like a white buffalo, basically.
yeah, it was basically like a 7-leaf clover type deal.
Yeah.
So Israel has sent rabbis over to inspect the cows, and the cows said, well, out of the 5, 4 qualify. And so,
which is still wild.
Which is still
Yeah, that's
insane,
crazy.
absolutely. And they
I
examined.
haven't heard this part yet.
Yeah, so what happened was they spent $500,000 top-notch security moving these red heifer cows to Israel. Coincidentally, around that time, if you didn't notice, bro, there was actually a report of a large amount of like possibly terrorists crossing the border. Yes,
Yeah,
including I think it was one leader of a very extremist Islamic group.
Okay.
And basically what was happening was they were trying to tie it to these red heifer cows. And believe it or not, on October 7th, that shooting or mass killing that happened in Israel, basically on Egyptian national television, the Egyptian leader of Hamas said that they were going to conduct this military endeavor because these cows were being imported.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this
all comes full circle type
it all
shit.
does, bro.
Interesting.
So anyway, they got the 8 ashes of the previous red heifer cows, and they only technically need the ashes of one of those red heifer cows. Those ashes are supposed to be used to anoint the priest when the 3rd temple is built. And for those of you that don't know, the 3rd temple is supposed to be built where the modern-day Dome of the Rock is, which is the most important mosque in Islamic culture. This temple was built by King Solomon, and it was destroyed first by the Romans. Next, I think it was destroyed by, during there being a large debacle over the Holy Lands.
The Persians,
and then,
yeah.
Yep, I think it was a Muslim
Persians,
faction,
yeah.
technically. And they built the Dome of the Rock over it. And so in order for this temple to be built, the Dome of the Rock has to be destroyed. And essentially, if the Dome of the Rock is destroyed and the temple is built, like, we think these small issues that are going on now, what we see in Palestine, what we see in Iran between different factions and Israel, it's going to be escalated, essentially. So, yeah, it's very strange because all of the biblical prophecy that's been talked about thousands of years ago, it seems to be lining up to right now. But I also want to put a little grain of salt in there. There's many times in history where people have thought the end was coming.
For sure, yeah.
And it didn't come. So to another extent, it's like this could just be one of those biases where you feel like the most important times in the world are the ones that you're living in.
Right.
You see what I mean? But it's
an
an interesting topic. And essentially when the 3rd temple is built, this is going to usher in the Antichrist, and then apparently the temple is destroyed, and then the 4th temple is built where a new living religion is made by the Antichrist that puts all the Abrahamic faiths under a new world religion. Then what you're talking about with the 7 years, apparently there'll be 7 years of peace, and then after that period of time, that's when the four horsemen of the apocalypse happen.
Yeah.
And the strange thing is that in Hinduism, we actually talk about there's a gentleman who is an incarnation of one of our gods that's supposed to come during Kali Yuga, which is the destructive times in the world. And his name is
How you say Kali Yuga?
Kali Yuga. And
Okay.
Kali Yuga, in Hinduism, we believe that time is cyclical, right? So there's a period that's the largest period where everything's optimum. And then there's a slightly smaller period where it's like, okay, then it degenerates. And then where we are is in the crux of it going into the end times. But after the end times, the world restarts. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that they say in Hinduism is that the next incarnation of Vishnu is this character called Kalki. And this character is supposed to basically come from the east, right? He's supposed to be able to raise an army that no one can have any type of issue with him. He becomes a world leader, but he rides on a white horse. And what's very strange is the first horseman of the apocalypse matches this description almost exactly.
Look at that.
Where it gets even crazier is they say that the Antichrist, it will be a man coming from the east. So this is multiple religions that are somewhat pointing towards this particular time in the timeline.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable, man.
It is really unbelievable. And, I don't think people know that I'm like into this type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I met you. That's why we always.
Yeah, but
because with ministry, your degree
it depends
and shit.
on the person.
Yeah,
of course, if I'm like really close with people, like Lee's heard me rant about this shit a lot.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes he's just being a good friend and just hearing me out, and I'm like, all right, I gotta read the crowd a little better. But it's just one of those things that millions, if not tens of millions of people are talking about right now.
Every day.
Yeah, and
this life's centered around it for sure.
It really makes you wonder. And again, I'm agnostic, so
can I get into that for a little bit? Why you having the knowledge that you've come across? So knowledge is different from faith, obviously, but you coming from obviously an ethnicity that does prescribe mainly to a particular ideology, of course. But you having the knowledge, why for you personally? This has nothing to do with anything else, but you personally, why is it that you choose? Because I was explaining to Lee Kenobi in this postmodern world. Like even atheism in the religious world is still considered a social religion. You know what I mean? So why for you have all this information? Because I was explaining to him when I was in ministry, I was a pastor. I make sure to go to Quaker ceremonies, to Hindu temples, to Buddhist temples. I've seen Santeria rituals. I talked to warlocks. I talked to psychics. I've gone to festivals that were centered around, black magic, white magic, humanism, paganism, the list goes on. I wanted to see what everyone believed and make sure that I wasn't getting a very biased view on spirituality and belief systems in this world, because throughout history, even before the Jews were the Jews, majority of them were pagan, So for me, if I was going to believe in something, chicken could be made a million different ways, If I go to a Jamaican spot, they put jerk and curry on it, and some ginger. If I go to a Thai place, they make it their way. Puerto Ricans make it there. The list goes on. So chicken could be, even though it's chicken, is made different with different flavors and seasonings, and you can eat it in different ways. So I look at religion in that sense that there's usually a core belief in something. How you even just tied in, what you guys believe, where you're part of the world, the Eastern religion. And you tied it into something that's going on where it's in the Middle East, So you having all this information, because you are a very spiritual person, If you want to, me being a person who's been around spiritual people my whole life, I consider you a very spiritual person. You're very in tune with that aspect of your life, and it's something that you actually care about, But having all this knowledge, why is your particular sets of beliefs set where they're at?
Well, I gotta say agnostic. The reason I say that is because there's one thing I realized through me just spending time with myself, meditating, really sitting with myself, is that there's so many things in the world that people take to the extreme that ends up perverting them in some way. And, that could be the negative things, of course, like drugs, alcohol, not being able to control your urges, you know what I'm saying? Maybe dealing with toxic people. But there's even stuff that's somewhat seemingly good from the outside that just turns people into a weird loop. For example, fitness. There's some people who are super into fitness, but they're so into fitness that like they can't enjoy life and they
Mm.
can't eat without counting calories.
Right, right.
So
They go a day without working out. They feel guilty,
they feel
shame.
so weird, and like it's a whole culture, and I get it, but I don't want any thought or idea when it comes to basically what I've learned. It came to mentally not holding on to things. Like in Hinduism, we have a huge thing about the art of dying with your fist not wrapped around something,
Mm.
being able to live peacefully and die peacefully.
Wow.
And in the process of living peacefully, you know, this theology stuff is great, but we can't lie, it's somewhat stressful, you know, especially with the subject matter and what's going on in the world. You have to be able, or at least I have to be able to put things to the side for a second. You see what I mean? No matter what it is, anything that's just like weighing in your mind, there's always a weight there. You're never fully relaxed. And for me, learning the process of mentally emptying my mind so that it could be neutral for a while and I can reset has been very important.
Very balanced view.
Yeah, and I try to be. I know there's something out there, and agnosticism, you know, where it differs from atheism is the fact that it believes in a higher concept, but maybe that all uh, human effort to encapsulate whatever this thing is has gone slightly to the left or the right by trying to catch it, because it's almost like a uncatchable thing when we talk about faith, religion, and higher power. Um, Another really big thing that really shifted my perspective is learning that, like, for example, do you know that Yah, right, from the word Yahweh, was taken from a pre-Semitic thunder god?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that when I learned about Indo-Aryan cultures, I learned that a thunder god was basically the baseline. So in Hinduism, we have a god called Indira. In Greek, they have Zeus. In Roman, they took Zeus and, you know, they renamed him.
Yeah.
And then also you have Thor in Teutonic culture. And then learning that Yah was also a thunder god, it makes you realize that to a certain extent, when you strip a lot of the things away, they're like cultural deviations of the same thing.
Yeah, even most Christians' views of hell come from like Plato.
Yeah,
Or
and
Dante's
also,
Infernos and shit like that.
bro, and
Yeah.
do you know this? That Thor has a sister called Hel, but it's Hel with one L. And that's where a big inspiration from Hel came from. And another large inspiration was Tartarus in Greek mythology, where according to Greek mythology, Zeus overtakes his father Kronos and traps him in the center of the earth in this fiery pit called Tartarus.
Yeah.
And then there's of course, the similarities between Saturn, aka Kronos, aka Satan, Saturnalia, paganism. So all this
even
stuff,
the days of the week, there's so much shit embedded that people don't know about.
So Monday is Moon Day, Sunday is Sunday, but this is where it gets weird. So Tuesday is named after the Teutonic god, Norse is another version, Tyr. Wednesday is Woden or Odin's Day. Thursday is literally Thor's Day. Friday is named after Freya, the wife of Odin, the mother of Thor. And Saturday is named after Saturn. Again, this is Greek mythology. Or actually Roman, which is a recapitulation of Greek, is reference to Kronos. So paganism is even in these religions that we call quote unquote monotheistic. There are secretly a lot of them pagan on the inside.
For sure.
And you know, that's a big thing in the Christian community, I know, which is like, is this a violation of this one God mythology that we have? And so learning all this stuff, I say this to say there is a higher force out there, for sure. There's many levels of higher forces above us. You see what I mean? But that doesn't change the fact that you're here, your feet are on the ground, and you have a mind that you can either let all this stuff drive you crazy, or you can have a sense of peace somewhere. So that's the reason I have to be what I have to be, because as much I do respect God and I appreciate him here, but I also know that God wants me to be able to be self-sufficient.
And also that leads into being, you still got to be a good friend, still got to be a good son, still got to be a good brother, still got to be human beings to our fellow humans. So let me ask you this, bro, because I think that, you know, I got really into the scene about 2 years ago when I really started getting active. Around that time, you know, we've done shows together and, you know, put some shit together. But I mean, your journey, bro, and from the Sunnyside South to the smoke sessions, have your own food truck, DJing, the verses, you know, as an artist, as a DJ, still partake in, you know, your love for dance, bro. These last 2 years, man, you were summing them up, man. What's the journey been like? You as an artist, how do you feel like you're revealing your art to the world? These moments you get to be a part of. You know, I sometimes do archives on my IG because because I've been around so many different groups of hip hop, these different sects in hip hop. I've been a part of so much dope freestyle sessions, been a part of so dope open mics, been a part of dope shit that my phone's just a library of, history at this point. Man, how's your journey been, bro? Are you happy with what you've been able to do? What keeps driving you to things that you are doing? Just speak a little bit as far as this journey that Dilman's been on, man.
Wow. Well, that's a good question because coincidentally, man, I took a 30-day tea break, got completely clean. So everyone needs to try sobriety, by the way.
No,
But
for real though. Amen to
yeah,
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
for real, bro. It's like, if you've never been sober in a while, then being sober is an altered state of conscious.
It's a great way to look at it,
Ironically,
bro.
Yeah.
That's a great, good
So, and
PSA.
it's a way that it's something that you gotta experience, just like how you experience the other side of the fence. But during my sobriety, bro, I went through a big kind of like a what am I doing with my life moment. And I love that from the outside, some people would be like, wow, he's doing a lot. But trust me, everybody inside themselves is their worst critic. Pause. But, God. But also, people don't know really what they're doing either. We're just kind of winging it. All of us are kind of just winging it. You know what I mean? So during my sobriety, I was wondering, did I make the right choices? Is the food truck right? Did I waste my time with all this art? Really kind of dark.
No, processing,
Yeah.
digging deep.
But man, I had a moment where I realized, you ever seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the movie
I think it won the Oscar for the best movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So in that movie, the whole premise is that she lives a life that is kind of mediocre. She gets access to the multiverse. She sees all the other versions of her life. And at some point in the movie, she just accepts the way her life is right now and realizes that it has some things that the other lives don't have. And she just needs to make the most of it and enjoy what she has. And after having my sobriety, man, I just realized you know what, bro? My life may not be what I imagined it to be when I was younger, but I have all these great people that I've met through the scene, and I'm able to do all these different arts that, when I was young, I had a moment I remember where I had a feeling and I tried to draw it out and I couldn't do it. And I tried to make a song about it and I couldn't do it. I tried to dance and I couldn't do it. And that was a moment where when I was a young artist, I was like, man, I'm really not shit. I can't really express myself. I'm not even fluent in any of these art things. Now I have some level of competency. Now I can express myself in these art forms. If any of my other lives were to see this life I had now, they would be like, I mean, damn, it's pretty cool. Maybe I don't have the money. Maybe I don't have the lady. Maybe I don't have the kids and the family and the 2.2 children.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this life that I've had has been great. And I'm already so far down the path that it doesn't make sense for me to stop. So coming back into my artistry now after having these experiences internally and also watching, me and Lee, that was one. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to brag real quick, bro. That was one of the best verses ever, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That was literally, and everyone says it too, so I'm not just saying shit just to say it.
That was a lot of fun.
It was so fun. And, competing against Lee, it was a tough competition. They gave the crown to my dog, Lee. But at the end, I just felt so fulfilled, bro. And I know, we were burning together after and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I say all this to say, man, that it's I like my life. If this is an RPG, I've spent the skill points.
Come on.
There is no going back. There is no respecing the character. There's no starting over.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to walk this path down wherever it leads me. And I'm just going to always have that faith that, we just talked about earlier along with it. And as long as I keep the numbers straight with the money, keep good faith, keep a good head on my shoulders, pause, god damn it, everything will be great.
I mean, since I've known you, one thing I have respected about you is knowing when to transition. I remember you talking to me when you decided to stop doing shrooms.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it was just getting a little too loony in that realm. What brought you to this tea break?
Bro, the tea break really came from me just asking myself, am I actually okay? If I'm okay, I should be able to go completely sober and everything will be fine. And
as in not having to depend on a drug to get you right every day.
Or just when you
or be that norm.
Yeah, whenever you normalize something, you don't even feel it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, man, I'm at my base level with this thing. Let me take it away. Let me just see where I'm at. And also, I just started to notice myself getting rather like, I want to say like emotional, like in a boohoo cry, but just kind of like in my feelings, just like sitting and contemplating a lot when I was high. And I was like, all right, something's not right here. I feel like I don't think I haven't been through any crazy trauma or anything.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, what could it be? Or at least not in the last couple of years. But then I realized that by not smoking, there's all this unresolved trauma.
Ah.
It could even be from years ago, bro. Like, ex-girlfriend that you haven't talked to in years. Then you have a dream.
Yeah.
And then you realize that, wait a second, I haven't been dreaming when I've been high.
Wow.
I haven't had REM sleep. My brain hasn't chemically processed the trauma. Because even though I'm consciously over it, chemically I'm not over it. Because I've been stalling this recovery process by burying things. And I'm telling you, if you don't think I'm telling you the truth, take a tea break for a month. And you'll have crazy dreams. You'll think about stuff you haven't thought before in years. And you'll be sitting with yourself. You'll be like, damn, I thought I was over this, but I'm really not. It's not that you're not over it. You're consciously over it, but chemically you're not over it. Brain.
Yeah, from a metabolic level, people don't realize if you take anything to help you sleep, even if it's as naturalistic as marijuana,
Yeah.
your brain when you goes to sleep, when you're sleeping, it for lack of a better word, purifies. Toxin, it purifies things on a metabolic level that are necessary for overall healthy state of being. I'm not a doctor, but I think that's a good way to put it. So when you influence your sleep, you're not allowing your body to conduct itself and properly purify itself.
Yeah, man. It's like you're never getting that software update if you're a phone.
There you go.
You're
Great.
just saying
Yep.
next day, next day, next day. Listen, I hate getting the software updates as much as anyone else with an iPhone, but after a while, you got to do it to use the apps.
Yeah,
The
it won't.
shit doesn't
Your phone
work
won't act right. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was coming across. Another thing though that I really did it for, bruh, testosterone, bro. When
Okay.
I was sober, my testosterone levels was crazy. Like one big indicator of this, bro, is like if I would like work out on one day,
Yeah.
I'll be sore for 2 days. My testosterone level was high when I was not smoking and sober. The recovery would literally be 1 day. Like I'd hit legs and be recovered in 2 days, which is like
That's
me,
wild.
it's crazy.
That is wild. Yeah, for sure. So you did the full 30.
Did the full 30, bro.
What day are you
Smart.
on? When's the first time you smoked? A couple days ago, a week ago?
It was on the 8th.
How was that feeling?
Oh man, it felt brand new again, bro. I was geeked up, man. I was like laughing. I was watching videos of space for like 30 minutes. I was like, it was just so weird, but it had that feeling that I missed, but it hit so hard. Like I smoked like one time for the day and I was like cracked out, dog.
Yeah. Lee, I know you're a smoker. I hope that's safe to say on camera. Explain to me, man, your love relationship with weed, man. What does it do for you as a creative? How does it influence? How important is it? This I don't say important, but how much of an aid has your relationship with weed been for you, man?
To me, I mean, I kind of replace alcohol with weed.
We were just
You
talking
know
about
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah, before we went on.
Like personally, I don't really create as much when I'm high. Sometimes I do.
Oh, you like me, bro. I don't like being high in the studio performing, bro.
Yeah, no,
I know it
can't
works for
perform
everybody
high.
else, but for me, I don't think the same, man.
Yeah, no, I like when we did our verses, I was completely sober the whole time.
Yeah.
I was not.
No. But yeah, like so, like I treat it like that mostly.
Got
like
you.
Come home.
So it's really a
Smoke.
recreational thing for you, for real.
Yeah.
Got you. Have you found anything that elevates you? If it's meditation, if it's nature, if it's watching. Like I get influenced a lot by film. I'm a huge film head. Sometimes if I have writer's block, I'll just put on a film and just watch it or look through a magazine and look at art, and that influences me. What's some of the biggest influences for you in your art, bro?
Definitely film. I know there's 2 songs on this album that are based on movies. We got Lions, Tigers, Bears.
Okay.
Kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah.
And then a song, Drunk Love, which is based on the movie Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah.
Which is like my favorite movie ever.
Okay.
So,
Great film, yeah.
Oh yeah. You know it.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler and all that.
Yeah,
man, that movie's amazing. So yeah, definitely film. film and life experiences, really. Just a combination, really. Because I'm a huge film guy.
Yeah.
That's like outside of music. Like I just love.
For sure. And when we say we love film, and we're not just talking about, we care about casting, we care about writing, we care about scores, we care about cinematography. Those things matter. I know a lot of people just watch film, they'll just enjoy it because it has a good action part, whatever.
Right.
But when you're into film, you care about how Wes Anderson, uh, visually hits you. You care about how a Christopher Nolan film is built a certain way and how it leaves you with questions and it leaves you in a timeless space. It just tells a great story. Guy Ritchie, the way he tells a story, is a unique way from anyone else that tells a story. Those things matter to us. Now, for me personally, is there any art form you guys both want to get? Like, I probably want to do a performance art piece within the next 3-4 years. Is there any art form that has been, pulling at your souls that you want to try or maybe dabble in, even if it's incorporated in music or not related to music at all? Is there any art forms that you guys are thinking about wanting to incorporate or just do?
Why don't you go?
Oh snap! Honestly, bro, fighting like martial arts, dog.
Okay.
That shit's been fire.
Like, do you have a particular martial art you're more?
Yeah, bro. I've been getting into Muay Thai a little bit. I can't even lie, bro.
Yeah, the elbows,
I'm
baby.
trash with the elbows, but
most people don't realize that's only the really martial art I ever got into, because when you actually fight, if you're in a street fight, you're not in a ring circling each other. Most of the time, it's very personal.
Yeah.
So if you know how to use your knees and your elbows in a close counter environment,
oh yeah,
it does give you an advantage.
Yeah.
Is there any art forms that you adore, even though you're not able to do?
Oh, bro, lots of them, man. Like, I be watching people do archery. I think that shit's amazing. Painting. Honestly, I am an enjoyer of many things. I can't do that much, but if it's entertaining enough and I can sit and watch it.
Is there anything you want to incorporate into the art forms that you do?
I feel like I can't take any new ones in, but if there was one that I would want to try my hand at that I feel like would make sense, would be beat making.
Oh, word. Okay. Now you're pretty well rounded. Lee, is there anything you want to incorporate in your music that even if it's a different form, like lo-fi or different whatever? Like, is there anything you wanted to incorporate you think would be dope?
To incorporate in music, I just want to keep trying different stuff. Honestly.
Okay. What's that mean though?
Like, I wanna try like just doing a bunch of different genres. And
Okay.
Just like.
Oh, word.
Yeah, just kind of diving in, just dipping my toes in different waters, really.
Okay,
Yep. So like that, like I would love to do something like that, but like outside of music, I would love to like create a series.
Dope.
Animated
or live action?
Live action.
Okay, word.
Yeah,
word.
I
like a 6-episode joint?
Yeah.
Okay.
It don't even have to be like Netflix or anything.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I just like YouTube with my friends, and I just write it or something.
Come on, fuck yeah.
You know? I would love to do something like that.
That's dope, and you can make the soundtrack for it too.
Exactly.
All right, so I asked every guest, well, not every, but majority of the guests I asked, if you could collaborate with artists dead, alive. I think actually this is the first time he was on Dilman, but you collaborate with an artist dead, alive, and local. Who would it be?
So 3 answers: dead, alive.
So
and
dead,
local?
alive, and local. Yeah.
Okay.
If you could work with any artist that's been dead, alive, and local.
Dead, Prince.
Nice. Prince outlived Mike Jack, man.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Prince is like my biggest inspiration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's influenced all the other people that I'm influenced by.
Word.
So, that alone would be the thing for me. He's probably the artist one of the artists that I've studied the most.
Okay.
Which is hard to do if you know like the type of person Prince is, like the most mysterious person ever.
Oh, for sure. Incredible life, took on the record labels, kept creating music.
He was really the pioneer in like giving the middle finger to the labels.
For sure,
really.
For sure.
I mean, he wrote "Slave" on his face as a promo run.
Come on.
That was. Yeah, no. So
and I think it's dope too. Artists like that, like Elvis has Graceland, and he had, I forgot what his joint was called in Minnesota. What's his like compound called?
It's Prince. Or?
Yeah.
Oh, the Revolution.
No, his like compound is like you can go visit. It's called like Elvis
Oh,
has Graceland.
oh
But
God, I
anyway,
don't know.
before I die, hopefully I get to a stature where I have my own compound, like a Graceland or like a like his, where
Yeah.
people identify with me. This is where the music was made. This is where history was made. This is where like its own like life with its own that breathes my story as well.
One thing I love is that anybody who has ever met Prince, they always have the most like insane
Oh, for
story
sure,
about
yeah. Like that he floated,
him.
like he was levitating as he walked.
Roots has a Questlove has a great story where he talked about how he was DJing at this club or like a bar or something, and Prince came in, and uh, Prince made him turn it off and put on Finding Nemo.
Come on,
Like,
that's legendary shit right
yeah.
there. That's some Kanye level shit, but
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
it's Prince level shit because he did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's dope as fuck. That's funny as fuck. Number
Oh
one,
my
but that's
god, it's
dope
the
as fuck.
funniest thing ever.
Yeah, when y'all talk about Prince, the only thing I think about is winter
Blouses.
blouses.
Oh my! You know that really happened too.
I know that's.
There's
we have
actually
pictures.
there's a picture of like Charlie Murphy on the ground and like Prince right above him with a basketball hoop behind him. He's like, oh my god,
hilarious. You know,
Yeah.
he even had a New Girl episode, man. I don't know if you ever heard the show.
yes, I saw
It's
it.
a New Girl episode, dude. Yeah, yeah. All right,
Yeah.
so Prince dead. Who would you
Prince
do alive?
dead, alive. Andre,
Okay,
3
stacks.
stacks.
All right.
I just need a 16.
Yeah,
What if he
that's-
gives you a flute solo?
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll honestly, a flute solo would be so fire. It'd be like you know how like Stevie Wonder just plays the harmonica on songs now.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
he'll hop on a Travis Scott song for a harmonica solo and just
Yes,
kill
sir.
it. Like I would do that with Andre in a heartbeat. A lot. Oh, local.
Meeting a lot of new cats, man. Being in the scene now.
There's so many. Honestly.
You can do two. You can do two.
Okay.
Make it easier on you.
All right. I'm gonna say Nico Sweet.
Oh, Nico Sweet, salute.
Nico Sweet.
I've been blessed to get featured from her, so trust me.
She's
Yeah, that's
amazing.
yeah.
She was the first headliner I ever saw at Shuffle Remix.
Oh, that was a great headline too. That show was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to work with her.
Shout out to her and Ism got a joint called Kibble. Y'all go check that out as it drops.
Mm-hmm. And then, oh God, who's that one girl that is like performing at Shuffle with the short curly blonde hair?
D Blue.
Dia Blue.
Yeah, she can
Dia
sing,
Blue.
man. She can sing like
She
crazy,
is
bro.
crazy.
She's definitely got
Like that
vocals.
voice is insane.
Yeah.
And the way she sings too, like how she chose to manipulate her voice and the style she chooses to sing in is crazy.
Her tone, her inflection, the style that she's doing, you know, it works
So I
so
talking about
well.
the other day too. Yeah, I was talking about her wanting to have an extra one to open up for it for sure.
Yeah,
I gotta reach out to her. That's a great list though, dude.
Yeah, I was.
Dilman, any of your thoughts on Dead, Live, and Local?
Oh man, dude, there'd be so many people I'd love to work with. Dead. Biggie.
Okay.
Because like when I was young, Biggie was like, I don't know, I just thought he was like the best.
He's
Him
the
and
god
Mos
MC,
Def were like huge.
Yeah,
influences.
Yasin Bey.
Yeah, man. Alive. There was a lot of people I feel like I would love to work with that are alive. Someone obscure or kind of weird I would think of is like Thundercat.
Oh, that's dope. That's a great one.
Bro, 'cause
Yeah.
I could see us making a funky record, and you know I like pop, do boogaloo. So like making a groovy record like that would be so
Yo,
sick.
Snoop Thundercat, man.
You already said Andre 3 stack, so I'm not gonna take that answer. Wait, here's another one dead. MF Doom, Jay Dilla, or Nujabes.
Yeah,
Have
you
to.
a trinity right there,
Yeah.
trio for sure. Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
Alive. Let's see. Bro, honestly, man, Kendrick, Wayne, but these are people that I feel like are so much more talented than me that it's like I don't know if I'd be able to write anything that's good enough to compete with that. You know what I mean?
Right. How about Local?
Local, I already made some joints with you, my dog. We probably got to make a joint at some point.
That'll be amazing. I'm not gonna hold you.
Definitely would like to make one with Psych Montano. We've shot the idea around a little bit. Who else?
Natural chemistry with that. I think it'll be an ill joint.
Yeah, like it would be some cool nerdy
Surprised you said
shit.
me, bro. It means a lot, man.
Yeah, of course, man. Hell
Most people
yeah.
sleep on my rap because I don't really push it as much. Yeah, I don't push it as much. But you see me actually perform
No,
like
I've seen
sets
you.
and
Yep.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. I've seen you perform like 3 sets just at Sunnyside South. They were
Yeah.
headliners. Dang. Man, there's a lot of people locally, man. There's like
No, that's a good answer. Those were good ones. I think you and Psych, I think is a natural one that needs to happen for sure.
yeah.
Nux would be cool to work with. I've known Nux, bro.
This
Nux
guy
used to
said
be-
that because I had Nugs made my beat and Nico was the feature on that song.
Yeah,
I gotta release that
bro.
song already,
Flowers?
bro. Yeah.
I've seen the behind the scenes documentary on that.
You should hear. You haven't heard Nico's verse, right? I'm gonna show you Nico's verse, bro.
Bro, I haven't. I just got some beats from DJ Kellen, so
Okay.
that's already in the
Ooh.
works.
I know you
so
made beats, man.
I
That's
can't
pretty
say
cool.
that I wish. Man, there's a lot of K3. That would be sick too.
That'd be fire.
I'm gonna have him on the show soon, man.
Yeah, man. But I mean, dude, there's so many great local artists. We're really privileged to be in such a scene that's like not only tight knit,
Talented,
but it's very talented,
Yeah.
man. That's
and very
why-
diverse too, man.
Yeah, bro.
Like
That's
you
why-
come across like last night, like those artists in the Berg. I mean Neptune. I don't want to keep mentioning names and you forget names, but that whole Berg
Yeah.
scene
Crazy.
has a different flavor from the one we got here in Tampa,
Yeah.
but extremely talented. Like Caleb's music's very, to me, very Kanye-esque.
Yeah.
The way he's able to put beats together, melodies together, like more young Kanye, but he's his own. I'm not trying to say he sounds like Kanye. I'm gonna say he's his own. But that feel I get when I first heard Kanye is the feel I get when I listen to his music. That Smoking On joint he has with Neptune, I have that shit on repeat, man.
Crazy.
Two-seater?
Two-seater
classic.
is my
I
shit.
love that shit.
That is my
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Man.
Let me ask you this. So we, in the ways we've been blessed. I mean, honestly, I wish I was a little bit older so I'd been pursuing music, in the 90s because the music world was so different. Technology and all that shit's so different back then. It really was just about the music and you had your privacy and don't even really see you unless you're on an XXL or Source or on the Basement on BET or MTV Raps. You know what I mean? It was very, very, still very exclusive. Everybody knows me. I'm hip hop to the core. So our culture was our own back then, But how do you guys feel about we live in this era now where AI, like we're making music, we're being creative in an era where AI is becoming something. It's already has its clause in a lot of shit. You know what I mean? They had a petition to suppress it for at least 5-10 years, so it doesn't take away from human creativity. How you guys feel about AI coming into this world and its effect on creativity and just what it's doing to our particular part of our niche of the planet type shit?
All right. Honestly, I think music industry is about to be dead in like 5 years.
Okay.
And I think that they're just trying to find stuff that they can throw out at the same rate, knowing that a lot of musicians are going to drop out.
Damn.
Labels are firing their staff at an alarming rate.
Yeah, heavy.
There's no ARs.
Mhm.
ARs have been gone for
For a while
years
now.
now.
Yeah, there's no art development either.
There's no artist development.
Which hurts the game. And I was seeing, I don't know who it was reporting on me to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But they were saying this year the Grammys, the Killer Mike swept. He's 48. The best producer was 41. The best songwriter, I believe, was late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
The person saying this, I forget who it was, saying we don't tell, athletes to not listen to coaches. We don't tell actors to not listen to directors. So as we see a lot of people become famous and then die away real rapidly, which I am, salute to anyone who has success. This is not me throwing shots at anyone. If you were able to have your moment, make a song that might live on for eternity, people play at their barbecues and birthday parties and weddings, salute to you. You did something that most artists wish they could do. A lot of times we try to like downplay like one hit wonders or people who just had a little bit of a moment, but those one hits pay people's mortgages for 30, 40 years, put their kids through college, so forth and so on. You know what I mean? So I'm not knocking nobody. But in this era that we have lived in, well, I've seen different genres of rap come and go already. I've seen people be hot and then you can't find them, 3-4 years later. For you to actually hip hop overall, not just now, but if you had more than 5 albums, you were able to make it to 5 albums. That was an incredible run.
Right.
It's almost like the NFL. If you could play in the NFL past 5-6 years, then that's quite a feat, because it's just an aggressive game. It's dog eat dog, so forth and so on. But I do feel like not having some time, which honestly, all labels really were, is you having a person in charge of marketing, a person in charge of there's different people. That not people just do organic. They put people in charge of merch, charge of marketing, charge of your social media prep, blah blah blah. That's all really labels are anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like that there has been somewhat of a malpractice to the game when you don't allow yourself to surround yourself with people that do have, their fingerprint on your art that helps elevate it. Not saying everyone needs an A&R, not if someone needs 30 people on their team, but I find that people who are successful, even, when I look even at like a guy in our city, Pusha Primo, he has a team around him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has an actual team that even if it's indie now, he got signed. Salute to you, my guy. Talked to him last night. Thank you for everything you do for me personally. But he has a team around him, So it's like I feel like even though that's going away from the label blueprint, I think if you're an artist out there, and you gotta be careful who you trust, you gotta be careful who you bring in business, you gotta be careful who you surround yourself with. But I think it's healthy to have a collective of minds saying, yo, we see this vision and we want to take it to the next level, and those people have nothing to do with rapping or whatever. They're just putting their input on, yo, this shirt might go hard, or this idea for a set on your tour is hard, or you should release your music this way, or having these minds combined, I think has done an injustice to some people's careers.
Well, I think that's why the labels are like, okay, this is where AI comes in, and it like also not just like with inside the label, like we're gonna start seeing a lot more AI artists.
You remember they first? I think Republic.
They tried to push that out, but then they completely scrapped it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I just throw some shit out there and see how people react, and then come back 5-10 years later with a better idea?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I don't think AI artists is going to be the thing that really takes things away in the future.
It's not going to be the thing. Sorry, not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I don't think it's going to be the thing that's going to take away from it. But here's what I think it's going to go. There's like 20 big artists.
Sure.
Right?
That's safe to say, yeah.
And then the rest are really successful artists. You got your kind of niche artists. You got all these kind of different boxes.
Yeah.
It's going to be local, independent, and 20. That's it.
Well, that's a new caste system for music, is what you're saying.
I think that like when I say like the music industry is dead, there's going to be still that top 5%.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's
your Taylor Swift, your Justin Bieber's.
Exactly,
like
because those are the ones bringing in $2,000 tickets a show.
Yeah, but they already have ghostwriters, and so I think that the AI will definitely be another ghostwriter that'll help them able to like not have as many ghostwriters or something like that.
They said it. They showed it on pandemic.
Yeah.
They showed us what
the
fuck was gonna happen.
But honestly, the numbers from what I've been looking at, the first thing is that this is the first year that most labels have been going towards hiring Afro beats, house, not many rappers, not many hip hop acts. We've seen, like, I'm sorry to say it, with what's going on with hip hop in general, I think that the fact that we even have a conversation about golden age of hip hop just means that we're looking at it from just the lens of hip hop, and because hip hop as a genre is kind of reaching that plateau, we're like, oh my god, da da da. But really, the numbers are saying that older artists from like the 70s to the early 2000s are outselling newer artists.
So Eminem was the most sold rapper in the world last year.
Yeah, I believe it. And so what I think is going to happen is that those artists' works are going to be bought and put in catalogs that different companies are going to own, and people are just going to rock out to the classics. Because the thing is, the thing I keep thinking about is that a big jump between the 70s to the early 2000s was like the technology. But now we're reaching a point where the technology is becoming more efficient, it's becoming more accessible.
I.e., Lee Kenobi making his beats on the telephone.
Yeah. But overall, it's not going anywhere completely new. Like at a certain point, we're gonna run out of genres to create.
Yeah.
We're hitting that issue now where it's like a lot of the new stuff that's coming out is just new combinations of existing genres.
I think people are.
And we see that in fashion too. We see that in movies. They're remaking every movie. The fashion now is that early 90s fashion, that
it's
90s
going back
fashion.
in a loop.
But I think I would say this though, as good as AI becomes, I think innovation from a human mind will always set a standard. Now they could
Yeah.
take it, they could use it, they could recreate it, but I think that there's something beautiful about even when you hear like a Drake song that's AI, or you hear like a Big Pun verse that's AI. It's just like a generic, still a generic version of something that was, you know, innovated by our human minds.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is scary to see, even from like a person who's in podcasting and does music, if you don't use it, the people who use AI, it's just like, a fucking Gatling gun to a bone arrow. Like
Yeah.
they're just
Yeah.
reaching more levels of success faster. It's incredible. When I was watching an interview, I think at Adam 22 with a label rep, he was saying how much they, really freak the numbers, how they do fake followers, how they do fake streams.
Yeah. The
And
stream
it's like
farms.
yeah, bro, it's insane to see. Even though I was talking to Misty last night, and I was like, yo, I'm working out, because I commend her hustle. I'm being, this year I was really made an effort to be very consistent with the podcasting, but it's like I could reach a certain plateau on the shore, like 8K, or I could have, a one good podcast. It's just because if you're not paying for ads, anybody doing podcasting, if you're not paying for the ads, yo, you'll have because I do it just to see it, right? I'll release one short, that shit will go 600 to like 8K.
Mhm.
But if I release two after it right away, 5 views. How do you go from 8K even to 600? So now you're saying 8K, 600 saw my shit. They went on my page because you see the analytics. But the next short I put out was only going to get 5 views. So they force you to pay for ads, which I get, it's a business or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're not paying for these ads, you're not. Jordan Lucas was talking about this recently on, I think it was the LA Leakers or whatever he was on recently. He was saying he released a video that 5 years ago, his freestyles in 24 hours with 4 mil. I think whatever he has, I think he has like 5 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. He's like, now to get 100, 200,000 views on a video I released, I only get that in 24 hours when 5 years ago I was getting that in 5. And how is it that my overall base has grown, but now I have more subscribers, but I get less views
It's
in
the
the
same thing
24
with
hours?
streaming.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Drake is the biggest artist streaming wise.
Yeah.
Does 1 billion every time. But I guarantee you, he probably makes most of his money on touring and
Oh, for
merch
sure. Yeah,
and all that stuff. It's not, streaming does not come close
No, DSPs
anymore.
just suck a dick. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, which again is why I think is going to be that gap, because you're going to see a lot of people. A lot of big artists right now are selling their catalogs.
Yeah, big time. And now, honestly, I was talking with my team personally. I was like, look, man, I'll use these digital platforms, these streaming services. Now this is just my thinking. I was like, it's either before or after I release something, but I don't want to keep it on the platforms. But I just want people to go direct to consumer. I want to make my website, just download the shit straight from me. And even if I do not even a fraction of what I do on the streaming services, I'm still going to make as much money.
Yeah,
money.
It's become an exposure tool.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
doesn't get the light on you type shit.
Yeah, like you see artists all the time. They'll maybe put out a song or maybe
the waterfall
EP,
effect now.
and then from there, okay, now I can do this. Now I
Yeah.
can dive into TV or not,
Yeah.
whatever.
And in the business now too, they call it the waterfall effect, where they don't release a full album anymore.
Yeah.
They'll just release 2 singles. 3 weeks later, 1 single video. 3 weeks after that, and then they'll eventually release the album. Then they'll have the deluxe version. Then they'll have blah 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 blah, just to get really anything of substance as far as monetizing wise out of a project.
The moment, yeah.
It's wild. How do you guys feel like going on the road, man? I've been talking to Nexus about just me personally, been really wanting to hit the road. I think I always preach to those around me that if you want to be a local artist, that's fine. That's cool. God bless those who just do that. But if you want to be regional, you got to make moves and start thinking being regional. If you want to be national, you got to doing moves to put yourself in a platform where you could be national. You having this project coming out. Have you thought about touring? Have you thought about doing shows outside of this local Tampa Bay area? How does that look for you as an artist really wanting to do this music shit? How do you feel like about venturing out?
Venturing out is something that I've not done in a minute, to be honest. So I'm more excited than anything, just performance wise, because I know like my performances from back then to now changed
Come on,
drastically. You know
that's
what
what's
I
up.
mean? I get a little bit more loose on
Yes,
stage.
sir.
I can move around a bit. So with that, I just want to have fun
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
go to
yeah.
places.
What do you think about maybe going to Orlando, maybe doing to Jacksonville, maybe
Yeah,
going
yeah,
even if it's just in Florida?
yeah, just trying around the area and just kind of organically building from there.
Yeah.
Just kind of testing waters at this point. Because this is technically the first Lee Kenobi project, so I
Come
just
on.
kind of want to see,
Everything you want.
yeah,
Be on the
everything you
lookout.
want to.
May 5th, Shuffle.
May 4th,
I'm sorry. May the
May
4th be
4th,
with
May the
you.
4th be with you.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, Dilman, what's
Mhm.
kind of next for you in this journey artistically, man? I know you've been doing the shows. Are you gonna release more music? I haven't heard new music from you for a while, man. Now, first
Yeah.
of all,
Hmm.
the Shun I Be joint, incredible.
Oh, I
The
appreciate
video,
that, bro.
incredible. You feel me? Before we get into that, bro, how man you've established great, Shun I Be, Lee Kenobi, Sykes, like, bro, you've built a solid tribe around you. How important has that been for you, bro?
Bro, it's important, but honestly, I work with everyone because I like them as people, and
Mhm.
I tell everyone that's like we shouldn't put a name or a conglomerate over this because now we have to work
Right.
together. I just want to work together with people and collaborate. And for me, I don't mind playing the support role. Like if
That's
that's where
dope.
it fits in, that's where it fits in. Me and you've thrown a show together,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? And I was just really in the back, just on the tables. Um, I think that for me, that's great. The thing that's been taking the most of my time is now I'm part of a dance crew, Dysfunctionals.
Okay. Oh, that's
Yeah,
what's up,
man.
bro. How
So,
long that's been going on?
bro, it's been going on for 8 months. We teach free dance classes for the community um, every Wednesday. So we've had so many classes,
Oh, that's
bro.
awesome.
They're also Dysfunctionals is also going to be at the after party
I just
for
word.
Yeah.
the Everything You Wanted show. So
Come
they're
on.
gonna jumpstart the party for us.
It's gonna be
Nice.
sick, man. But I've been traveling around competing with them. We performed at the Strass Center
Oh
recently.
wow. How was that
Yeah,
experience, bro? Stratus is beautiful.
it was nice. It wasn't like on their biggest stage, but it
Hmm.
was one on their side stages. Then Tampa Bay Performing Arts Center, we performed for them. Man, man, this last couple of years, I feel like the dance lifespan is not as long as like the music lifespan. So
Oh,
I'm
for
really
sure.
just trying to rock that out. Keep on the DJing. I definitely want to get back into music. I love to freestyle. I love rap.
I've been waiting, but I need some. I've been waiting for more. You feel me?
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, I'm gonna get some stuff together. I promise.
Where so Lee, man, you coming out with this album,
Hmm.
which is again phenomenal already. I haven't heard it yet. I don't know if you got, Psy came in.
I'll play it for you.
Psy came in, yeah. That's one of the beautiful things I love about doing this pod and putting a spotlight on artists because I get to see the sneak peeks. Psy came in with his Spawn joint and showed me and Nexus some crazy
Mhm.
joints. So I'm really excited about that album. But you know, is music something you want to do long term?
Music is something that I want to do until it feels like I have to do it.
Wow. Okay.
Or you know what I mean? I always want to be in a space where like I put something out because I wanted to,
Got you.
you know? And the minute that it feels forced, it's I don't know if it's like a childish thing of me
Mhm.
to just be like, well, I'm told that I have to do it, so now I don't
Right.
want to do it.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? That's when it'll feel like I think I'm done. It could be that, or honestly, it might just be like I felt like I've completed what I needed to.
Mm.
You know?
This is my art I was meant to express.
Yeah.
I gave it to the world.
That's hopefully like the end game for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Are we getting any visuals of this project?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
One or two? Everything you want, definitely gonna have a music video, I'm assuming.
We'll see.
Okay. But for
Uh,
sure we're getting visuals though.
You definitely getting visuals.
Talk to me about this lineup at this show. We
Mhm.
got Caleb Music,
Yep.
Latox.
Yep.
Is Sykes performing?
Yep.
Okay, Sykes performing. Is there any more?
That's it.
Now, is that something someone curated for you, or those are the people you want to perform at your shit?
That is a list of people that me, Dilman, and Psych all came up
It's a great
with.
lineup, bro.
Yeah.
It's a great lineup.
Yeah. I wanted something that didn't overstay its welcome.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like you get like 6-7 people.
Oh, I know.
Sure,
Yes, trust me, I know.
it's a good opportunity to get a lot of people in the door, but people don't want to stay for that when doors open at 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You gotta work
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Kids.
You got to transition everybody,
Yeah.
and
No, I think a solid 3 plus you is 4. That's a solid.
yeah, and it is all people that I genuinely fuck with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I was tight with everyone that's on this lineup that's been a part of this show before any of them like heard any of this shit.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's
like,
cool.
so like for me to do it with them, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I always tell people when I curate a show, I want to curate a show that I would go to pay and see if I wasn't the person throwing it.
Mm.
You know, because I feel like, you got to have a good chemistry with the artists that are performing. Me and Dilman go over this when we're choosing artists for the shows we throw. It's like, you got to like some just don't go well together. Even not saying their music's bad or, you don't want to see them live, but they might not fit the chemistry right for the night. So yeah, the Neuralink thing. You guys know what Neuralink is?
Yeah.
No.
Neuralink?
Yeah, you know what it is. All right. So if you guys Musk came to you tonight and said, "I got one just for you," are you putting it in your brain or not?
I'll tell him to eat a dick and close the door in his face.
Okay, so why not?
Bro.
Why would I?
This goes back to the AI thing a little bit. But yeah.
Am I getting ads directly into my brain? Do I get a Spotify?
So it's more the consequence you're afraid of?
Yeah, bro. I'm worried about things being able to be directly implanted in my brain without my consent.
I need a lawyer to check over the terms and agreements.
Need a lawyer to check over the terms and agreements?
Man, I don't trust nothing that's written down even. Like, I know that there you can kind of... But the companies do shit all the time that's illegal, that's written down, and they still fucking do it. So me, no.
Not doing it.
No.
Next is you putting a chip in your brain to give you superpowers, bro?
Hold on, you didn't say that.
he moved the goalpost a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm just saying that's basically what the motherfucker does. It enhances our capabilities. It gives us more information. It's basically a superpower. You become cyborg.
So it's a cell phone.
Elon Musk is gonna be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna be. It's calling for right now because me saying it in my mind.
Yeah. Definitely enhances your capabilities. I mean, obviously at first.
Your mind, call prolific. You know?
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
That's what Elon Musk is trying to fucking do.
Yeah.
He's fucking trying to put plant. He already tested.
They did already. Yeah. You know? Well, that's the one they announced. I'm pretty sure they did more than that too. But the first one they
fucked up
announced.
Thought though.
For me, like
it's over.
A lot of times they use the guys for like medical purposes. Like it helps people with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and stuff like that. I feel like that's always a guise to get, just get it in under the wire type shit, And if it does really help people with a disease that we really have no answers for or effective answers for sure, then God bless it, because those people are going to deteriorate and die anyway, But, I mean, it's good. I mean, this is just the beginning, guys. It's going to become more and more common soon.
I've seen
this is going to be like, instead of getting the new iPhone 36A, whatever, it's going to be, you got to upload to that Neuralink yet, bro. And the software up there's fucking my brain up.
I've seen people with a chip in like their hand, and it's used as a key.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's
okay.
like they get into their house, they open up all the doors in there, they open up the cabinets, the safe, all that.
Some tourists, like Australian tourists, they'll have a chip so they can pay for everything without having to lose their like shit. Like, retail, I see sometimes they like people have like shit like that. So it's just the fear of the unknown. But how about if it's 10, 15 years in and you're seeing people use it, it's already tried and tested, they got all the kinks worked out. Would you guys think about it then?
Heck no, man.
Never. Look, I'm a humanist too. I'm just playing devil's advocate right now. I'm a humanist. You know what I mean? So I'll never get that shit either. I didn't even get the fucking vaccine. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to reprocreate with a woman who got the vaccine. That changed your fucking DNA. That MNR technology changed literally people's DNA. Cancer went up 40%. Mood disorders went up by like 30%. It literally changed how people act and operate.
That's fine.
And that's in its form like a Neuralink within itself.
Yeah. And I got the first vaccine. I argued not to get it with my parents. And they're like, no, come on. After that, no, I didn't get none of the boosters, but I
Right,
wish I
right.
didn't get that vaccine, bro.
So you have legit regret toward it?
Yeah, because it's just like, bro, there's so many. At the very least, there's like weird chemicals used to stabilize the vaccine. You see what I mean? Like, I mean, like, and this is the best way I'll say it. I ended up getting COVID anyway. Once you get COVID, you get the
For
antibodies.
sure, and they last way
So,
longer anyway.
yeah, if, in retrospect, if I was gonna get sick anyway from a vaccine and get the antibodies the natural way, I prefer the natural way.
You know what blows my mind about that shit is that obviously the hoopla was what it was during the pandemic, but when they had the Senate hearings 2 years later on C-SPAN, because no one watches C-SPAN, I do, but I'm just a nerd like that. But 2 years later, when they debunked everything they made us do, they said we were wrong about 80% of everything we were saying.
Yeah, who's we?
No one talks about it. No one
Yeah.
says, "Hey, this is what the government." Because honestly, my biggest concern about that whole thing is, look, I'm free. I live free. I'm gonna die fucking free. That's how I live my life. You know what I mean? But me going back to Chicago, which their politics were different, so they were very closed down. Those were the first acts of totalitarianism. To me, that was a social experiment to see. This is not conspiracy shit. When someone tells you that you can't go eat, or you can't go get groceries, or you can't work out, or you can't be amongst loved ones when they're dying, which is nuts. When you can't live your life free as we have our freedom up to this point, which, people say, well, were we ever really free? I'm not going to get into that whole rabbit hole. But I'm saying when the government literally tells you up front in your face, you know, back in the day, I think I was talking to this with someone else. Back in the day when there was civil unrest, they called it was bread and circuses. So they would have gladiators perform entertainment like we do our sports in an arena, and they'll throw bread at them so they wouldn't be hungry anymore. It was a way of distraction. So when this whole thing happened, they gave us Uber Eats, they gave us Xbox Live, they gave us Netflix, they gave us Hulu. So if you didn't have to leave your house, you were so entertained and so okay with someone just bringing you your groceries that most people normalized that. So when the shit went back to normal, they didn't want to go back to normal. I know people that still live their life like that.
Yeah.
So to me, that was more of a social experiment to see how would we react when they take away our certain freedoms. Most people who lived in communist countries or a fascist country said, "Yo, this is how it happens. It just doesn't happen overnight." And it says, "Hey, you have all your freedoms taken away." They slowly do it and slowly do it and slowly do it. And my only concern is when you give people power, you have to be very careful those you give power because their decisions are decisions that affect generations. I was watching this study about how wearing a mask over our faces, not being able to see expressions, how it affects children in their developmental stages with communication, and how most kids will not naturally process emotions because when they were at that stage of their life during those 2 years of when they understood and comprehended what emotions were and people were talking to them, they weren't able to see people's actual expressions. How much germaphobes are going to grow from that. During that pandemic, how much domestic violence and suicide went up. Those are traumas that people will live with. Having a loved one commit suicide or seeing someone beat on a loved one of yours, those are traumas that will exist. So fuck being sick or people dying from that. The effects that came from that are sometimes lifelong trauma. So we have to be very careful who we give power to, who we listen when those people in power give instructions, and us as a people decide to react or respond to those things. I think it's something that we just need to be careful for, not to get like preacher activists. I'm just saying that like it's something that we need to be really aware of because we're seeing it now in everything. We're seeing it unless you use this platform or this way to get your music out there, it's not going to pop.
Yeah.
Or unless you're in a relationship with this particular person or this particular group, then you won't have access to the amount of tours or festivals you can perform at, or so forth and so on. So we have to be careful with the shift that happened with our who's authority, who's the gatekeeper in a bigger sense, and how we operate now. There comes a point where you have to make a choice to really take shit into your own hands. You know what I mean? I had some friends in like New York saying that the government was calling them, like parents saying, "Why didn't you give your kid the vaccine?" They're like, "Bitch, because that's my son and I know what's best for him. Who the fuck are you to tell me how to raise my kid?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like when those lines start getting crossed, it's like we have to stay back and say, wait, what's the bigger picture in this shit? Because I'm still young. I haven't had kids yet. I had to raise my kids in the next 3-4 generations. What does that look like? You know what I mean? So how do you guys just feel like just where you guys are in life and what the future holds? I know that might be a deep question, but when you look at the world we live in and life, the way it's going, how the economy is, how you know, I looked at my taxes last year. I was like, I made a pretty good amount of money. It still ain't fucking enough. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
How our economic classes are changing, how education, how the whole overall spill is changing. Because you guys are pretty grown at this point, and you're younger than me though. So how do you feel like this whole climate is going as far as, do I want to move to a different country? Is this where I want to be at? You know, blah 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 blah. How's your views for the future? You talked about World War III possibly happening, but what? Are you optimistic? Are you pessimistic? Or are you, you know, outside of music? Are you looking at different careers to go in? Like overall, as you as a man, Lee Kenobi, how are you looking at this future? Do you want to have kids? You want to get married at some point?
Oh,
Maybe.
God. I don't even know. To
Okay.
be honest
So
with
besides the whole love shit, like, how do you feel about the? You know, I read a lot of futurists.
you. Right.
So sometimes my head gets fucked up about it. But
No.
in
You're
in an
good.
honest way, like, how do you feel like this world's developing, man?
Honestly, I'm gonna always be hopeful. You know.
That's beautiful.
And I'm gonna stay, just cause like I think this country's fucked up, and it ain't gonna be fucked up if I don't try to do something about it, or at least with,
Come on.
you know, in my
Oh,
own
God.
vicinity. Like I'm pretty big when it comes to like social issues and shit. So with that, like I always try to stay informed. I think the best thing you can do, honestly, with like the future is, you know, take care of your neighbor. I think this is the best way you do it. If everyone takes care of their neighbor, everyone's taken care
That's
of.
dope. On
So,
God, great
you know,
take.
Take care of your neighbor. Vote local. You know, and
Huge,
stay
bro.
informed.
Most people don't do, bro.
Yeah.
I asked people who's the mayor of Tampa. They tell me the mayor two mayors ago.
Yeah, no, I think it's if not voting for a president, I think people should vote local.
Yeah, don't know who the county commissioner is. Don't know when laws are being passed that affect them locally. Don't know the local taxes, property taxes. The list goes on. How do you feel like the best way to approach, you know, moving forward in your life, Dilman? Like you said, take care of your neighbor. What's the best thing you could do from a human side, to, you know, do your part?
Man, I think that there's going to be a huge economic downturn. You know, there's forecasted heavy inflation.
Super.
I think that if there is another housing crisis,
which is possible
in terms of real estate crashing, if the real estate market crashes, that'll be perfect for young people who are trying to be first-time homeowners, for example. So I think the people who are going to make it in the next 10 years are the people who are able to sustain and endure during these times. We're able to just put away a little bit of, even if it's not a lot of money. If houses drop, like let's say a real estate crash happened in Florida, we got $300,000 houses getting put up for like $50K. Your down payment for your house is what, like 5%?
Most of the time, 5-10, yeah.
Yeah, so like 5% of $50K, bro.
5 stacks.
Yeah,
and look,
bro.
but he's saying, yo, if you can get
It's 2.5.
get property, because Vanguard, BlackRock are buying all the private properties.
They are.
And if you don't get your property now, or when this opportunity comes that he's saying, then in the future the prices are going to be so high, you're going against people who have an endless pocketbook, and you're not going to be able to compete with those prices.
But BlackRock
so don't take away from the American dream of owning your own property. What's up?
I was going to say, because think about it this way, right? If all those big corporations, BlackRock, whatever, if they buy all the property and the real estate market crashes, they lose equity. So like they can buy a lot of property in a normal market and then force everyone to rent fair. But when that downturn happens, BlackRock and all these companies are going to be the same companies who are going to be forced to sell it. Because if you own like a third of the real estate in America and it all drops in price, you have to liquidate that asset.
Yeah, it's still so expensive. They're the biggest asset holders in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
No one's more profitable than BlackRock in the planet.
Yeah.
But that's true, though. They're going to have to get some of it. I mean, you got to stop the bleeding somehow, for sure. Yeah.
You have to. And that's why, I don't know, if everyone can just get their money up, at least get some sort of good economy going, at least have like a few bands in the savings account. Me, I'm not trying to have kids to get married. I feel like that, man, it's so sad what I see with the family structure and everything happening nowadays, bro. I feel bad.
What do you mean by that?
I'm just saying, like, 50% of marriages ending in divorce.
Yeah, more now. Yeah, that's right now. Yeah,
and just like kids who are kind of like split. We see custody battles with some of my friends, and they're like, either baby dad or baby moms. I don't have time for that shit, bro.
Right.
I really don't. I'm completely content just being by myself for my whole life. Cause like I'm never alone, dude.
Yeah.
First, I always got God, and second, I got all my friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I see in my life, bro.
So healthy relationships is been a pivotal point in your life for sure.
Oh yeah, bro. Because I'm
Community,
sure
tribe.
we've all held on to things that were for too long that were toxic because we didn't want to be alone.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
And then when you're alone, you're like, this shit's actually fucking chill.
No, for real, it's just the fear of being alone because we've been embedded in our mind that you can't be alone, or at a certain age you have to get married, or at a certain age you have to have kids, or get the perfect career only to be able to sustain a marriage or children, and it takes away from I tell people all the time. I come from a culture, Latino culture. They want you to have get married, have 3 kids by the time you're 24. You don't know who you are. You're raising a whole human being without understanding who you are as an individual. And it's just sometimes it's a malpractice to being a parent. I feel like the more legit parents, not all of them, of course, but the more legit parents are those who took time to develop who they were, worked on their mental health, and are able to beautifully raise a kid, knowing that these scenarios what best decision to honestly make.
Yeah,
bro.
So May 4th.
May 4th.
Dilman, you're gonna be in the house, of course.
Every
Ones and twos.
Ones and twos.
Anything you want to announce, Dilman? Went over Lee Kenobi's. Anything you want to invite people out to? Anything happening?
Got a fat dance battle that I'm throwing. I think it's gonna be.
You're throwing it?
Yeah, bro. It's
word.
My 4th annual one, and every year, bro.
Shit,
this
4th already?
4th annual.
Come on,
dance
G.
battle, bro. I've been doing dance battles longer than I've been timeline wise longer than I've been doing my music shit, but. Man, the last event that we had, bro, I had 80 people come.
That's amazing, bro.
For me, that's like a.
Is there an admission?
It's $5 to spectate, $10 to battle, which for dance shit is relatively cheap. I've seen battles going for $20, $25 just to enter, regardless if you're battling or spectating. Come out, even if you don't. I'm have all the rounds shot in fucking beautiful 4K by my videographer, and that's gonna be dope, man. But
when is it?
July 13th.
13th? Word. Next is what you got. I know you got the festival coming up. What's it called again? Siesta G?
We got
Guava Fest.
Hey.
Backyard party. This Saturday. You performing live?
Nah, I'm on interview artists.
Are you out there with Nexus TV? Okay. Nexus Monality TV. And then you're performing, where is it again?
Siesta G.
Yeah, it is Siesta G. Okay.
Over there, Brandon.
Bro, their ticket sales she was showing. First of all, shout out to CSG. Their format for the artist, so you get your own band as an artist, and if a person buys the band from you, you get a profit from that band. And the band is not just admission to the event, but you get like 2 pre-rolls, 3 gummies or some shit.
Damn.
Like it's worth buying.
The customer gets, if they want to get the VIP, like they get
extra shit.
back.
Yeah.
Some back, and then you as an artist too, fucking with them, they're also you getting a profit from that. So salute Siesta G from doing that shit because that's pretty dope.
That's innovative.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. The website's easy. It's really cool. Me and Dilman are big when we throw events. We like paying our artists.
Oh yeah.
He does it more than I have. He's put more shows on, and I respect him for that highly. So if you're doing this shit out and you expect people to spend time making music, working on their sets, you'll compensate them, man. It's only the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's my personal view, and I'll stand by that to the day I die. Man, Lee Kenobi, I'm really happy for you, bro. I met you like 2 years ago, and to see your progress. I mean, you don't need me to say that I'm proud of you because, I'm just a friend, but I'm proud of you, bro. Like, I think it's dope what you're doing. Classic album cover. I haven't heard the album yet, but I know the album cover is classic already. Dilman, I appreciate you, bro, being a solid one as always.
Yes, sir.
Happy for all your endeavors. Still haven't made it out to the food truck yet. I have to. Bill, this is EO Radio. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe, share, talk about it amongst your friends if you like what you're hearing and seeing. Salute, the general.